Hey girls, today is Thursday, and with the bringing of this day, our tradition brings about my weekly video. For this vlog, I decided to take the Vlogbrothers approach by speaking in fast, connected, and practice sentences about my week. If you don't know who the Vlogbrothers are, I definitely suggest you click on the bottom link in my pants. This week has been pretty busy, having my backyard renovated and remodeled for my mother's wedding. Now we have a waterfall, a whole bunch of carefully placed stones with our fire pit on them, and plants. Lots of plants. Although our hot tub has kind of been placed in the wrong direction by our extremely lazy workmen, we're pretty much satisfied with the entire outcome. Monday I worked 1 to 9, which was great because I got to sleep in, but after that I kind of ended up vomiting from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m., so that wasn't fun. I eventually, woke up on my bathroom floor and moved to my bed, which was the end of that, and had a very nice night, actually. To top that off, because I wasn't holding my head during the whole episode, I ended up bursting a whole bunch of capillaries around my eyes, which resulted in tiny little red blood dots all around my eyes. Tuesday, I went to work wearing a lot of makeup to try and hide those blood dots, and it worked for the most part until I forgot and rubbed off most of the cover-up. Thankfully, it was only a 5-hour shift. Tuesday night, I pulled an all-nighter talking with my coworker and friend Tom via AIM, and while we were talking, I took a few moments to reminisce about the application that basically ruled my entire middle school existence. I talked for nearly 4.5 hours, and I learned a lot about him, but regrettably, I have to say that he didn't learn quite as much about me. Turns out I'm a lot more closed off when it comes to talking about myself than I thought I was. Although going into deeper thought about that, it struck me as weird that I was more comfortable talking to him about what kind of relationships I had in high school than telling him my middle name. And it's not like I'm ashamed of my middle name, I actually kind of like it, but I could probably count on my fingers the amount of people outside of my family who know it. Moving on. Wednesday, I literally slept all day, and Thursday, today, I went back to my previously attended college to visit this girl and this girl. I also saw this guy, which was a surprise because he goes to school in Illinois. And because when we attended school together, every time I saw him, I'd kind of be like, want. I got a hug. I also saw this guy who promised this girl and me we'd go out to ice cream. Unfortunately, he was super duper sick and he had work, so that plan fell through. I ended up attending Sarah's philosophy and religion class, where I actually got caught up in conversation with the professor and ended up comparing God to a horse and the universe to a salsa jar. After that, I attempted to go with Sarah to her dramatic literature class, where I thought I would be intrigued by the subject since they were discussing Death of a Salesman, one of my more favorite plays, but I ended up rendering the professor an idiot, all his theories invalid, and inevitably got myself kicked out of the class for giggling too loud with Sarah over whether I should have my bangs or fringe cut like Lex Croucher or Cariba Hain. Personally, I love Lex's cut. I think it's bold and just fun. And if I end up not liking it in the future, it would take a lot less time to grow hers out than Cariba's. And plus, if I end up not liking Lex's, I could always have it restyled to look like Christina Perry. I go back to work, but Colin has just informed me that he hasn't forgotten about our ice cream time and that it will happen, which definitely makes me more excited to get back to the cottage as soon as possible. Aside from the obvious event, I had a pretty good week and a great Thursday. Also, as Sarah and I were about to leave campus, we saw a Red Bull car parked in the lot, so I pulled over and made her take a picture. Brittany, I'll see you tomorrow.